Wednesday! My name is Caitlin, this is KDXX22 Reading, and welcome back to my channel. I have been here before. I'm sure you will remember that this is my place of work and I'm on lunch. And I wanted to film a really quick review video because I finished this book yesterday. I rated it on Goodreads and I wrote a review on Goodreads, but the more I thought about it, the more I just knew I had to do a dedicated review. And so without further ado, let's do it. The book I'm talking about is Nevernight by Kristoff. Now, I don't remember the last time I read a 20-hour book in a couple of days. I did that with this book. I could not stop listening to it. I listen to most of my books. I'm a very avid audiobook reader. I have a 4.5-month-old at the house, so most of the time that is more convenient than holding a physical book. That being said, I loved this. I found the story compelling. I think that the whole thing is incredibly fleshed out. I cannot wait to continue on to the rest of the books in this series. Thank you, Jesus. I waited until the series was completed and didn't jump in and have to wait on books. Sometimes I'm good. If you're unaware or unfamiliar, or honestly, if you've never heard of this series before, color me surprised because it's fairly popular here on BookTube and on Bookstagram. But it is about a young girl named Mia. She is a teenager and she has some bullshit go down with her family when she's a little girl. Things happen, and this is in like the first chapter, so it's not really a spoiler. Her dad gets killed and then she gets taken away from her mom, and basically this is 6 years after that happens, where she's at in her life and what she's hoping to move into in the future. It is a tale of her going to try and find the Dark Church, the Red Church, which is a school for assassins. I found this book delightfully dark, incredibly gory, and outside of one scene of heightened sexual tension, I was very pleasantly surprised in reading this. It is an adult fantasy novel. I do not typically read fantasy, and I think that just because it's just not something that I'm drawn to. I love sci-fi and I love horror, but fantasy and we have a love-hate relationship. A couple of years ago, I read Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and etc. series, and while A Court of Mist and Furies is fabulous, there is no taking that away from that title away from that. I just wasn't that impressed with the series as a whole. I have just not picked up any more fantasy. I have some on my shelf that I know I want to get to, but it's just not been something that's been a priority for me. So going into this and knowing that it had to do with assassins, knowing that it was adult, I was hesitant yet excited, and this book did not disappoint. It had all of the things I love in a good book. Good storytelling. The narrator is freaking amazing. I think the only other book, I've read a couple of books where the narrator isn't, as far as I know, the narrator isn't a character in the series. It's just an outside party telling the story. The viewpoint of the narrator here is one of a storyteller imparting you on, this grand story. For me, I felt like I was sitting at a fire and being told a story after a long day. I've only ever had that happen to me a couple of times in reading. I love it, so I guess it's a trope that I enjoy. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. I can't speak any higher of it than telling you should read it, because especially if you're a fan of dark gore, dark schools, you know, trials and tribulations, things that happen. I'm sure going into the next book, it will be, obviously it's going to be different because she's, you know, done with the school. So, I mean, at least I think she is. But, yeah, I just really surprised by this. The other book that I read in recent years that had kind of a dark school setting was Red Rising from the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown, and I love that book, and subsequently I love that first trilogy, like favorite book series probably ever. So who knows, maybe the Nevernight Chronicles are on its way to becoming a new favorite series of mine. Anyway, that's all I had. I wanted to give you a little bit of a review for this. If you have questions about it, I think I wrote a more eloquent review, maybe. I don't know, I don't remember. I was just in a rush to finish it yesterday because it was so good. Other than that, comment down below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you are enjoying my content and you want more of it. I stumbled across a tag today in my booktube wanderings, so I will hopefully be coming to you tomorrow with a tag video, and I'm pretty excited about it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!